Hello guys, I am back. Oh yes, I've had a week, an amazing week of camping and sightseeing. It has been amazing. Right, I'll just explain exactly where I've been, what I've been doing. So, I've made 13 videos, all sightseeing. I'll come to that in a moment. So, I've got 3 videos left from the Kintyre, where I was doing some camping and sightseeing. And then I came back and then I went out with my Julie for a day and did 3 more videos of sightseeing. And then me, Julie and Martin went camping on the Isle of Skye for 2 days. Loads of sightseeing. So the reason there's no digging is because Martin and Julie don't metal detect. And this is the only time they had off work to take me around the sites. And boy do they know their sites. Martin's a big history lover. He loves his history. So it's taught me so much, told me exactly where to go, what to see, and I've made 13 videos. So, I've come back, I've started editing. Once I've got the editing out of the way, I'm going to start metal detecting every day. You're pretty much going to just get weeks of metal detecting now. So what I might do is split them 13 videos up with a metal detecting video, which is from the future, just to split them up. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, do you like my kilt, by the way? This is from the clan McDigger Dan, I think. Or the McDan. One of the two. And all you ladies are dying to know if there's anything on underneath there, aren't you? Well, I'm not going to tell you. But I can guarantee, next time Martin puts his kilt on, he's going to be wanting to know himself. He'll be thinking about it. Quite ironically, I made a bit of a mess of this video, which is coming up. It was where Columbus landed in Scotland. I forgot to press record on my camera and I've just done something pretty much the same. I've spent an hour doing a video for this and for future videos and I forgot to turn the microphone on. So I'm having to do it all again. I'm not happy. So because I missed off the most important part of the beginning of this video about Columbus, I'm just going to have to explain it for you. Otherwise a lot of the rest of the video won't make any sense. Back in about the year 200, 300, the Scotty, that is like a clan from Ireland, came over from Ireland and came to Scotland. And the king of the clan put his foot down on this stone and said, "This is now our land. This is the Scotty land. Scotland." That's how it got its name. From that footprint, which is still there today, that is where the Irish landed and called it Scotland. Now next to that footprint is another footprint which was actually made by a stonemason in the late 1800s and he's put a date on there which is supposed to be the date when Columbus landed. Columbus didn't land in that year, it was the year before, he got it wrong. So the Scotty came and claimed this part of Scotland and then 200 years later Columbus came over from Ireland and they built a Columbus church, there's a Columbus well, and there's some caves nearby, and that's where I'm going to leave this and hand you over to the Kintyre and the videos I was making down there. Good morning. I think I might have camped in the wrong place here really, because all the grass is wet through this morning where I am. There's no sun here, but just over there it's sunny, and I bet the grass is dry over there. In other words, I bet the tent wouldn't be wet. It's wet through on the outside. Having said that, I bet it's full of mosquitoes. Midges over there, and there's no midges out over this side. On the plus side, the inner tent is bone dry. Completely dry, which is very, very cool. So the air vents did the job. I need to get out of this. Come on, you've got things to do. Stop being a bum. Little black sheep. This is what you spend most of your day doing, just avoiding sheep on the road. They're all over the place. By the way, if my face starts to look a bit puffy today, it's because I'm camping. My face always puffs up when I'm camping. I don't know why. I think it's something to do with the way I lay down. I don't know, but I go all puffy. As you can see, lots of people have thrown money in that well. It's called St. Columbus's well, but it really shouldn't be, because legend has it, not legend, people say that it's only called that because it was built in the 1800s. Some people believe it was built in the 1800s to attract tourists, just like the second footprint which the mason made to attract tourists. Now here is St. Columbus's chapel, right next to the well. I've parked in the wrong bit, so I can't get in there. There's not much to see, I don't think, but yeah, I think what happened is the Irish, the Scotty, came over, established themselves in this area. Then St. Columbus came 100, 200 years later, and because he was like very, very, very famous, it all got associated with him, whereas it was his forefathers before him who actually were the reason that they were here. But because St. Columbus was so special, so well known, they built a chapel here. There's an abbey somewhere, I think, and this well, as I say, I think it's a local rip-off. I don't think it's real. In fact, it would not surprise me if it's the same mason who did the footprint who carved that out. It wouldn't be hard for a mason to do, would it? Loads of money in there. As this story is about travelling and travellers from Ireland, and there's people throwing money in this well, I'm guessing making wishes, as a traveller at the well, I guess I should throw a little bit of money in and make a little wish. I wish that I complete my journey and raise £50,000 with a penny. Close my eyes, throw it in, hear it plop, that's gonna work. So here we are in Keel Cave. This is a huge cave, very tall, like this one. Now, they reckon this has been used since prehistoric times, people living in here, and I can understand why. It is so sheltered, so warm, really nice and homely actually, from prehistoric times. Now, legend has it that Martin, who I'm staying with, the Neanderthal, that he descends from a clan who lived in this cave, but not sure on that. But this is really interesting. In 1881, on the census, for you children who don't know, a census is where they go around people's houses to see who lives there, how old they are and what jobs they have, and they write it down in a book so that in years to come everyone knows who lived there. In 1881 they did it, and it shows someone living in the cave. Someone lived in this cave. Not just one person, it were a family. 1981, the home of John McPhee, 22-year-old tinsmith, his 21-year-old wife Margaret, their young son Andrew, John's cousin, a basket maker, and his wife Mary and their daughter Bella. They all lived in this cave. I can imagine the guy going round doing the census is in the local town hall, and the councillor says to him, right, you've got to go around, check who's in all the houses. Oh, and don't forget the cave down near the sea. Unbelievable. I bet they even had, I can imagine them having mail delivered here as well. Lovely. So yeah, that is Keel Cave. Wonderful. It's quite spectacular. There's little holes all over in the cliff, and there's actually 2 or 3 more caves somewhere around the corner. And one of them is said to be haunted. It's called the Piper's Cave. A piper who died, and you can hear him play his pipes. We're on our way to Davaar Island. That island over there, you can reach it at low tide by coming all the way around here along a sandbank and get onto it. I think it's 18 islands in Scotland which are islands, but you can reach them when the sun goes out, when the tide goes out. Quite a walk this one, but there's something I've got to see, something I've been told to go and see. in the 7th cave around the other side of the island. It's a sign from God. Come with me. It says that it's a 40-minute walk onto the island, and then I've got to walk right round to the other side of the island. Then I've got to film about the island, and then I've got to walk back to this side of the island, and then I've got to walk 40 minutes back to my car. We're looking at 2.5 hours here. This better be worth it. Well, I made it onto the island. Whew. Probably took me 20-25 minutes, but I did walk quite fast. Now on this island, apparently there's, back in 2001, on the census it showed that there was 2 people living on this island. But in the census in 2011 it said there were no usual residents living there. So I don't think anyone lives here anymore, but having said that, I was the first one on the island this morning, waiting for the tide to go out. There was already a guy here, and he's been stood next to a post over there for at least 15 minutes. So he must have been on here overnight. And there's a Land Rover over there, there's a farmer in a Land Rover. So it can't be as unpopulated as they say it is, or people are maybe just camping around here or something, don't know. Got to find these caves now, and quickly. I need a rest. You might just be able to see in the distance there, Campbelltown. That's like the big place on this peninsula, which isn't very big. You've got a beautiful house over there. I don't know who lives there, but I can guarantee they've got a lot of money. Wow, we've got the remains of a boat there. Someone's boat's ripped in half. There's a lot of rubbish on this beach, obviously washed up. In fact, what's that over there? Has that got the Scottish flag on it? We have to investigate this one, guys. See what I mean? Plastic drums, cans, bottles, all the way along. Some kind of marker. It's like a boy with a stick in and a flag on top. It must be someone who's left a crab pot or something in the sea to tell them where it is. But yeah, you've got the remains of an old house here. Don't know anything about that. Where's the caves, man? I've got to count 6 before I get to the 7th. This one's probably 6, but it could be the 7th, which is what we're after. Oh, I'm never walking again after this trip. I'm going to get a mobility scooter. Yeah, just walked up there for no reason, there's nothing there. Is this number 7? It looks big. Not a big entrance, but big inside. Water dripping down, lovely. No, that's not the one I'm after either. That must be number 6. Don't believe this. Keep going. Well, this one has to be it. Must be. Oh. What we're looking for, guys, is a sign from God. And it's not in here. I don't believe it. It's not in here either. So that must be number 6. Keep going. Next one. It has to be this one. This is the biggest I've seen so far. I can't see it yet though. I don't want to tell you what it is until I'm actually there. I want you to see it for the first time for yourselves, like I am going to do, but I have seen a picture of it. Oh, what am I doing, man? So I've just been in that cave and I could have gone in that entrance. If I'd have just missed that one out and gone in there, I'd have been alright. Oh, well, this is definitely the right one because look, we've got stones with messages on, the Mackenzie family, Rab Morton, So it must be in here. I'm still not seeing it. I just walked right under it. Here it is. Jesus Christ on the crucifix. A sign from God. So the story goes that somebody came on this island and they found this in the late 1880s. Mid-1880s. And they went rushing back to the mainland into Campbelltown and saying, there's a sign from God. There's a sign from God. And all the people from the village, everyone from around the surrounding area used to come here and leave things like offerings and crucifixions and crosses. People, even to this day, are still doing it. Leaving crosses. Loads of pebbles with names on and rest in peace, Dad, etc. And they started doing this. And they were all convinced it was like a miracle. Until, in the pub one night, there were a guy came in, he says, I've just been into that cave where there's the miracle. He says, have you been in there yet? And they're all saying, oh yeah, it's amazing, a sign from God, I wonder what it means. There's a guy sat in the corner at a bar called Archie, and he turns around, has a little sip of his whiskey, turns around and he says, that ain't no miracle, I painted that. Says, you what? Yeah, I painted that. Do you like it? What do you mean you painted that? It's a sign from God. No, I can assure you I painted it. So as Archie was the local artist at the time, they ended up believing him. Word spread all around the village. It wasn't a miracle from God, it was that Archie. Archie drew it. The artist, it was called Archibald McKinnon, but Archie to his friends and me. So they went round the village saying it wasn't a miracle after all, it was just Archie. Archie drew it. And everyone were furious because they'd come here, been given offerings, they'd been going to church talking about it, just making themselves look like idiots. So, you know what they did? They got hold of McKinnon, Archie, and they says, Archie, get the hell out of Campbelltown, we don't want you anywhere near here, you've made us all look like complete and utter idiots. He was thrown out of Campbelltown, never seen again. True story, that. Whether it were worth me walking for 2.5 hours, I don't know, but hey... No, it's a really nice painting as well. The unfortunate thing is, it's been vandalised a few times. It's been restored 3 times. 2 of them times were actually by Archie himself. And the last time it was vandalised was in 2006, where someone put Chichavara in black and red over his face and ruined it. But somebody's restored it again since. Beautiful. I didn't notice this at first, but someone else has put a drawing next to it here. Looks like an angel. I did all this for thee, what wilt thou do for me? I did all this for thee, what wilt thou do for me? That's quite nice as well. If I'd have thought about it last night, I could have camped on this island, I think. I don't see any reason why not. And that would have been a perfect place to camp. Although, I don't know, someone would have probably said something, but there is a lot of nice greenery on top, nice grass. And it would have been a nice place to camp, knowing nobody can get out to you. You're all alone. Ooh. Have you ever watched Alone? The survival series. I'm up to number 3 in series 1 and they're dropping like flies. Oh, there's a bear over there, I want to leave. Oh, I heard a wolf scream. Oh, I'm off. You know, these are supposed to be survival experts trying to live as long as they can out in the wild. They're not doing very well. Don't watch Alone. Unless you want to laugh. So that is the story of Archibald and Davaar Island. Hope you enjoyed that one. If you missed me saying it in one of the other videos, you're going to get a lot of short videos for the next month or so because I just can't upload. I haven't got the internet to upload long videos, so you're just going to get short ones on each place I go to. So it might be that you get 5 sightseeing videos and 1 metal detecting videos, but all from the same day. So all you people who are saying, I thought I would dig in the coast 365. Yeah, I am still going to be digging every day that I can, but just because I put a video up of sightseeing doesn't mean to say I've not been digging that day. Anyway, thanks for joining, guys. Please keep the donations coming in. I noticed on the last video, which went up last night, I managed to get a reception in the town as I went through. Only had 1 donation. Admittedly, it was a very good one for £100. Can't remember the name, and I've no internet again now to find out, but thank you very much. $100, sorry. So keep the donations coming in, people. Diggingthecoast.com, click donate and give all that you can. Thank you very much. So the donations have really dried up in the last week. I'll tell you who has donated in the last week. We've got Clan Mackenzie and Dalzell, Elliot and Gareth, Tommy Deb, Matty and Gus, Jeff Boone, Ronnie Wilson, Steve T, Janet, Lakota Limey, Sal Galaxy, Jason Peltier, John Fergie, John Vitti, Damien Jones, Dave James, Mark and Eileen, Al Kissack, Philip Schofield, Joe C and Dishriver Danny. Thank you very, very much for donating, guys. I really appreciate it. We're now up to £42,338, but that just is not good enough. We really need to have a push on this now. We need to get up to £50,000. We're not going to make it at this rate. We're falling behind again. So please do consider donating. All the links are in the description. It's to make some wishes come true for some terminally ill and seriously ill children at Rays of Sunshine, the charity. You can go to diggingthecoast.com and click donate and give all that you can, please. Now, in these 13 videos whilst I've been away, I've not been able to get any internet, so I've not been able to mention the charity in the videos. So I'm just relying on you guys over these next 13 videos to please remember to carry on donating. Thank you very much. Right, I've got to go now because I've literally got 2 days to learn the bagpipes for a special song. Thanks for joining. I'll get the hang of it, don't worry. On Digging the Coast 365.